Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of All Score No Defense, the best sports channel. And on this episode, I'm going to talk about how the Brooklyn Nets are now on a 2-game winning streak after their 2 new acquisitions. Let's get into it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 11 straight losses, the Brooklyn Nets are on a 2-game winning streak. And last night's victory over the New York Knicks was very special, seeing that this team had their largest comeback in franchise history, coming back from 28 points. And man, oh man, this Brooklyn Nets team, I believe if this team can stay healthy, this team has a great chance of winning the Eastern Conference. Now, in last night's game against the New York Knicks, was I expecting Cam Thomas to score 16 points in the fourth quarter? No. And was I expecting Andre Drummond to grab 19 rebounds? No. But with this new look Brooklyn Nets team, man, oh man, this is going to be dangerous because now this team now has the ability defensively to be a juggernaut. And then you say, okay, wait until Ben Simmons comes back, because now once Ben Simmons comes back, this team is going to have a 6'10 monster coming back. And then if he can come back with the right mindset, man, oh man, is this team going to be dangerous. Then you also have Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, when he wants to, can be a defensive juggernaut as well. Then this team also has Kyrie Irving. But with this Brooklyn Nets team, it's going to be very interesting to see in the playoffs, because if you want to say, how is this team going to match up against a team like Milwaukee? Okay, here's where the acquisition of Ben Simmons is going to pay major dividend. Ben Simmons is 6'10 and solid. Now you guys, okay, now the Brooklyn Nets have a team, or they have a lineup now where they can throw Ben Simmons along with Andre Drummond together, or if you want to put Blake Griffin in there, you have a wall that you can build. Now I'm not saying you can't play all three of these dudes at the same time, but you can play two of them, and that wall you can build to stop someone like Giannis. Also, you now have someone like Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving can create his own shot, and he can get anywhere on the court, seeing that he has tremendous ball handling skills. Another player on this team that can also do that, not saying with the handling, but it's someone else that can create their own shot, is Seth Curry. Seth Curry is going to pay major dividend for this Brooklyn Nets team in the playoffs, seeing that his shooting ability, man, oh man, is that going to make major dividend. And then Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond is also going to help out this Brooklyn Nets team because, as we saw last night, this dude is huge, especially on the inside of the paint. This man had 19 rebounds, and he had 10 at halftime. So just imagine in the playoffs when the game slows down. Also, this Brooklyn Nets team, shooting-wise in the playoffs, man, oh man, if this team can come prepared and locked in and focused, this Brooklyn Nets team is going to be hard to beat. Now, on the other side, I know this, I don't want to throw Philly into it, but I kind of have to because they're in the news involving this trade. Now, with James Harden, I don't want to kick a man while he's down, but we saw last night the Brooklyn Nets came back from a 28-point game, or better yet, we saw in two instances. We saw one game where the Brooklyn Nets led majority of the game against the Sacramento Kings, and they won. And then we also saw last night where the Brooklyn Nets trailed majority of the game, and they came back and won. Whereas with Philadelphia, this is where Philadelphia is going to hurt with the trade. Philadelphia, yes, they were playing against Boston, a much better team, but Philadelphia at one point was trailing by as many as 50 points. Do you know how bad that is? And then another thing that's going to hurt, or the main thing that hurt Philadelphia with this trade, was the Philadelphia 76ers lost a lot of depth. Whereas with the Brooklyn Nets gained a lot of depth. So I don't want to kick James Harden while he's down because he's injured. And hopefully he does make a full recovery and he can come back to playing his best basketball. But when James Harden comes back to play basketball, him and Joel Embiid, they're going to have to bring it every night. And that's going to be a lot to ask for, especially in the playoffs, because we've seen James Harden struggle in the playoffs. How? Because all you have to do, or all we've been seeing, is teams double team him at half court. So it's going to be very hard for Philadelphia. Now, can Philadelphia get this done? We'll just have to wait and see. Whereas Brooklyn, if Brooklyn can stay healthy and everyone stays with their mind, man, it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out, because that's all for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I do new episodes like this Monday through Friday, and I'm out.